There we go. We should have microphone now. That'll be map number 3 and Storks picks the starting side. Oopsie doopsies. There's a delay. I've noticed it and I've fixed it. Mission load. Run extensions true. Mission. And then we want map number 3. Sochi versus Mozdoc 3. There we go. Perfect. And then we can tell everyone what the go is. How are you all doing today? So, for those of you not familiar, SATAC is a 6v6 PvP DCS tournament, which 2 teams face off for control of a central circle, usually resulting in the shootdown of all of the members of the opposing team. The team that gains control over the circle then has to be holding on to enough fuel to also make it back to base. Okay, so we'll let the Storks know that they're picking the starting side. Hello, Combat Odds. Welcome in. How are all you guys going? Let's see who we have here in chat today. We have Mika, Tholazor, Night Assassin. Hello, Shorty Guns. Boris has to head out. No! Combat Oz, good to see you too. I hope you're all doing well. Now, let's see which side the Storks will pick. I'll let them know what weather. Okay, looks like the Storks have elected to start on the red side. So, let's get you guys to have a look at the match to go. Also, I'll connect up my TAC view. Perfect. So, we should be picking up DCS here. Just give me a second. How are we looking? Perfect. So the Storks have picked the red side in Sochi versus Mozdoc, separating the 2 teams. There will be 204 nautical miles separating both teams, and both teams individually 50 nautical miles from the center. Where are your wings? I've got them. They're just very slim. The circle itself is 110 nautical miles in diameter. Spawning in for the Storks, we have Krim, Chatunes, Isol, Stonts, SFSR, and... Ooh, I got taught how to say this last time, but I need someone to tell me how to pronounce this name. And at present, it looks like we have F-16s along with F-18s. So, 3 and 3. The weather, of course, not fantastic. The weapon restrictions for SATAC, well known to many of us, but for those of you unfamiliar, is a maximum of 4 Fox 3 missiles. So you'll see many of these F-18s bring Sparrows on the fuselage. Cute flanker, you love it? Yeah? Should I put the VTuber on screen? I could get myself down in a little tiny corner here. Could go just a little tiny. Oh, can't move myself too fast. I could just be a little down here in the corner. Or I could be in the middle of the score. just above the sponsors here. Can't cover up the sponsors, of course. And then I could face directly forwards. So I could be like the little Doom guy talking to you in the middle of the screen. So, 4 AMRAAMs maximum. In the F-16s, we have Sons, SFSR, NCNX, Krim, Chatunes, and ESOL. Nice tiny flanker, thank you very much. Tech, I hope you are doing well. Welcome in. Tech, how do I pronounce this name if you know how to read Cyrillic? Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, we have Maverick in an F-16. We have Jam and, oh, I know this one. Oh, what was it called? Was it Cat Meow Meow? Orange Cat? Is this Orange Cat? We have Jam as well. And they're bringing the F-15 Echoes. C. So should I call it C or C? All right. In addition to that, we have AGRS, name it, Maverick, Overload Dog in a J11 in the Snow Owls livery. And then just over here, we have an F-15 Charlie. So plenty of F-15s of all varieties. This F-15C actually using the often utilized by Chinese teams technique of not bringing the outboard missiles. Apparently has a noticeable effect on drag. C? Okay. Cool. I'll say it's C. The F-16's common sight among SATAC matches. As we see the Storks have got moving. Everyone loves a good orderly queue. I've had a wonderful time away. For those of you who haven't caught me since I have returned from going on holiday, I had a wonderful time with my partner in Japan. I hope the SATAC matches were wonderful. I tuned into the ones that I could and I enjoyed them. A big shout out, of course, to the organisers and the other streamers who stepped up and had a go at it themselves. It is not easy to do. But yes, welcome in 81 Banana. I hope you're having a good day. And here come the F-16s. Technitinium, if you like flankers, then you should type !merch to see the first airshow merchandise. Sons is moving. SFSR is just waiting to get going. Let's have a look at the weather over the target area. Okay. So the cloud layer in scenarios like this, effectively limiting the amount of usage that we will see within the mountainous regions. Hiding in the valleys and crevasses, not necessarily as easy to do when the cloud layer is this thick. However, if you do get very low to the ground, let's see when things start to get a little bit more manageable. I'm getting lost over here. Oh wow, this cloud layer really goes all the way down to the deck. with thick patches of almost, what do you call that, 200-foot visibility? Very low. So, visibility factor shit at the moment, with the first cloud layer proceeding all the way up to 14,000 feet, the second cloud layer at about 20, and the third at about 32,000. And the weather outside is 14 degrees Celsius and turbulence at 2 meters per second. The F-18s lead the way for the Storks as the lineup finally takes shape on the runway, with Chatunes and ESOL leading the way. Krim and C, followed by Sonts and SFSR. EWAGRS is heading down to the runway. Leading the way is Maverick in the F-16, with Overload Dog following behind in the J-11A, as the F-15E, S4, and F-15 Charlie of the rear group take their places with Name It at the rear. Alright, we should be getting the ready call any moment now. From both sides, as they take their final positions. So, 3 F-18s with 3 F-16s face off against this mixed group. 2 F-16s, 2 F-15Es. Psycho! We call him Sich. Alright. Report when ready, and good luck. Let's get a poll up on the screen right now. Make sure we've got all the information on it. Are you here to support the 76th AF or the Storks? And we'll leave that running for 10 minutes, so make sure you vote on your screens now. Roger. Stork reports ready. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. And there we have it. The start of round 1 as the Storks face off against 76th. We see the engines start to heat up as the first 2 planes head down the runway. An F-16 and a J-11 for the Storks. For the 76th, correction. Up they go. Maverick and Overload Dog, the first 2 off the runway, as Chatunes and ESOL are heading in. Krim following along behind. looking good as the F-18 pulls its wheels up. Sich, SFSR, and Sonts left to go. Orange Cat and Jam make their way down the runway next. Oh no, Jam recovers. Jam recovers. Cool. The Eagles are up. AGRS, EW, and name it left to go. You do want to give it a moment before taking off behind your teammates, as wake turbulence is in effect. We'll hear, before anything, those F-15 intakes going whee when they activate. Yes, Strike Eagle, unlikely hero of today's match. Though this weather does suit them, want to stay at high altitude to get the most out of their extended fuel range. As Sonts and Sech are up now, cloud layer all the way up to 15,000 feet. Sonts goes and joins their teammates up in the much nicer air. Both teams in this instance agreeing not to use ECM. ESOL and Chatunes are separating out, but it looks like there's a clear intention towards the north for the Storks. Meanwhile, Orange Cat, Maverick, Overload Dog seem to be going for the standard spread of the SATAC tournament team. EW here in the ultra high speed low drag F-15E. If you want to get your F-15E to be as speedy as possible, avoid bringing the centerline tank. If you want to get even faster, then avoid bringing the external weapons. Maverick and Overload Dog at 25,000 and 15,000 as ESOL and his wingman are up at 30,000 feet and happy to stay there. Overload Dog and Maverick could probably go to be the first ones to enter the circle here, with only 20 nautical miles left to go. Welcome in, Centix. I hope you guys don't mind Star Wars music. I was thinking about what would be fun to play in the background today. Of course, this won't show up on the VOD. Star Wars music. Alright, ESOL is 13 nautical miles away, and Chatunes is as well, as they appear to be beginning their collapse into the circle. Maverick and Overload Dog at 25,000 feet both. Of course, this is the J11 loaded for bear with 4 PL ST10s rather, along with an R27ER and an ET, and electing not to bring an R73 on this wing pylon, instead going for the one on the wingtip. So, deliberately foregoing 2 R73s for the sake of speed. Looks like the Chinese team has come out to go fast. Esol leads the way for the Storks and is going to get into the circle soon. All flight personnel, please report to your commanders immediately. All flight personnel, report to your commanders immediately. You will be briefed by your squadron leaders en route. We have been redirected to Scarif. Blue takes control of the battle area, but they'll only have sole control of it for seconds as Esol's about to make the entrance. The altitude advantage belonging to the Storks, who have biased their force into the northern sector. Jam and EW at 35 and 39,000 feet. Jam in an F-15E. So, the F-15E a little bit more bulbous than its Charlie friend. But that's all for the purposes of storing a little extra fuel, meaning that that will be increasing the efficacy of this high-altitude fight. Overload Dog and Maverick making their way up to 30,000 feet now. This J-11 looks like it's going to be the initial shooter for 76th. Scarif? We're going to Scarif? Why does no one tell me anything, R2? Gold Group. We're starting our attack run on the shield gate now. Keep it tight and watch out for those towers. And just in time, Skelly Jellyman, welcome in. For those of you who are not familiar with me, we are about to see the opening shots of SATAC as the 76th faces off against the Storks. With 71 nautical miles separating the two teams, it's nearly action time. Skelly Jellyman is a DCS pilot. Oh no, did we lose Esol? Looks like the Storks have suffered a disconnection, unfortunately. Meaning that it is 5 versus 1 for the initial match. As Esol's wheels had left the ground, that means that they were out of this fight. But welcome in if you are joining in from the Gelatin Skeleton. What are you up to, Skelly? And we have Sech going quite quick in the F-16 now. About 60 to 53 nautical miles away from Overload Dog and Maverick. Chatunez, 47 nautical miles away. .43 nautical. And Jam has pushed in and is launching the first AIM 120 of the match. This missile coming in at 52,000 feet. Ooh, 120 Bravos. That does sound fun. So that missile at about 35 nautical miles. Overlord Dog is braking without having had fired just yet. And Seh is climbing up for shot. Seh fires. Looks like it might be towards Name It, or alternatively Orange Cat in the south. Forgive me, I almost lost track of them. Both shots exchanged at about 45 nautical miles. Looks like Orange Cat's was the earlier shot, and this one is coming in from 79,000 feet traveling at a true airspeed of 1,700 knots. And it looks like Sir is going to try and defeat it kinetically, electing not to drop too much altitude here. The missile fired from Jam looks like it's going for Krim now, who's dropping down with haste as SFSR as a missile coming in from EW. Orange Cat attempting to notch the return fire here. Successfully seeming to at least juggle the lock a little bit. Steer now completely defensive against this missile, but traveling at decent speed, so should be able to get away. SFSR may be in trouble here as this missile comes in with some real violence behind it. Impact. The first loss is felt as the Storks lose their first pilot. The missile going for Krim is no good. And the missile going for Orange Cat is going to proxy fuse in the wrong place. Orange Cat gets away with it through some minor miracle. Very unlucky for the Storks so far. But they're not out of the fight yet. Steph did not need to drop his altitude, so still maintains a commanding position in the sky. EW shot down SFSR as Orange Cat and Jam are still up at 48,000 feet in the case of Jam, who fires off a missile nearly on the edge of 50,000 feet. This AIM-7 comes off the rails, actually. I'm not sure. So this AIM-7, not a home on jam shot because there are no jammers. But is it tracking? Almost looks like it is tracking. But who might it be going for? As Chatunez fires off a second missile towards Maverick. Yeah, it's definitely going for someone. Jam doesn't seem too fussed about evading this missile. Traveling at 1,000 knots at 44,000 feet, it will not have the speed to catch up. This AIM-7 still guiding. Longest range AIM-7 shot I've seen ever. Maverick here, having to defend pretty hard against some 120s. You can see it behind him. Oh! It just wiggles and goes stupid at the last second. You can't ask for a closer shot than that, but what about the second one? Like this one's already slowed down. The Storks just not having any luck so far. But can their tidings change? Chatunez is down at low altitude here. Climbing up to go for another shot. Name it isn't far away. 12 nautical miles. And Orange Cat makes another passing shot at 42,000 feet. Two AIM-120s, one's going towards Name It, at least. That one does look like it has some potential. Name It having to go very defensive here. Missile still traveling at 1,100 knots. But it's not tracking anything. That's weird. This 120, this one was for Orange Cat and is not having any dice. Chatunez has to deal with the missile fight in response. And gets away from it. EW does a 13 nautical mile downward shot towards Sons. Let's see if this one can go make the trip downstairs. Actually, it looks like it may be going for Krim, as Sont successfully manages to tuck himself underneath that one. Seth and Maverick now facing off. 25 nautical miles separation. An SD-10 looks like it's going for Sont at low altitude. Having to contend with the weather. Visibility not great. Afterburners on. Manages to trick the missile into terrain. Aim 7 fired at Seth. Stont's pushing forwards here. Now only 10 nautical miles away from Overload Dog, who is deep in the sea. Death Star approaching. Okay. Stance fires one at 8 nautical miles towards Name It, and controlled flight into terrain defending Overload Dog's missile. So, the weather claims its victim as the first CFIT causes a pilot to die in defending missiles. Hopefully Overload Dog doesn't befall the same fate. 2 missiles fired by Maverick. Looks like it's a dual target shot towards Chatunes and Krim. Chatunes having to defend quite hardly now. Got to keep an eye on that terrain though. This missile is going to catch up. Impact. Chatunes takes it directly, but manages to survive. Looks like the proximity fuses aren't working great in both directions now. More missiles to contend with, though. Chatunes now has one going straight down the front. Hey, Warbird, how are you? Got to have radar alt display? I know. Maybe that's why they brought the F-15Es, is because they have those terrain-following radars. Except they haven't brought them. That would be a funny, interesting use of something, though. Name It is pushing towards Chatunes. Looks like they have plenty of missiles to work with here. Got to be careful they don't get caught in close range, though, as Chatunes seems to be in a good position here for a shot at 6 nautical miles. Jam fires an AIM 120 down towards Chatunes. Chatunes doesn't manage to notch it, loses the notch in the last second. So it leaves the 2 remaining members, Set and Krim, as AGRS begins diving down and launching missiles at the plane that he's now almost directly above. The missile goes out. This one's for Krim. Finds Krim right through the clouds. It's now all on NC. Seh, who has only got AIM 9s left. Not the weapon you want to be stuck with. Maverick turns in, the closest target to there, and fires off a 120. No impact as Sith gets away with it, but Maverick is close in behind. Chasing down the little F-16. A little bit of an altitude advantage here. AIM-9M comes off the rails. Is he far enough away to get away from it? No, he's not. Impact. as Maverick secures the last kill. Let's check that everyone's down and out. Okay. There we have it. Looks like round one, assuming they can make it back home, is going to go to the 76th. This all-Chinese team have been showing us how it's done pretty handily in the competition so far, as Orange Cat begins the journey home. Let's have a look at the TAC view and see what happened. We'll go through it player by player for the Storks. And SFSR was the first one to go. Caught out early on in the fight, and it looks like it was the missile fired from EW. That shot happening at 56 nautical miles. The missile apexing at 82,000 feet before proceeding to make the impact at Mark 3, almost, just under Mark 3, at 30,000 feet. Thank you for the follow, Dirtig. I hope you're having a good day today. Thank you for the support today, guys. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Okay, after SFSR, Storks gets in close here. Fires off a missile at close range by towards Name It. Goes defensive here. In thick cloud. Radar altitude reads 0. As it looks like he just lost it in the terrain there. Possibly pulled a few too many Gs. That's food for the trees. Very unlucky. Chatunez here chasing down Name It, who seems to be the bait at low altitude. Getting caught out by a missile fired from Jam at 15 nautical miles. EW continued the attack, shooting straight for Krim, the F-15C, firing off the shot, and Krim travelling very slowly at 0.6 Mach, does not have the speed to get away. Stich, in this case, then gets chased down by Maverick, who gets into AIM-9 range, and the deal is largely sealed. Still alive, we have Orange Cat, Name It, Maverick, Jam, AGRSEW, and Overload Dog. All seemingly with enough fuel to afterburn their way back home. I hate that you can't see the results of a poll after the poll happens. What were the results of the poll? I didn't see them. The F-15s working a high altitude. It shouldn't be any surprise to see this team bringing so many high altitude aircraft. All right. Looks like one of the members of the Storks is having a little bit of trouble. G'day, Colonel Moss. How you going? Welcome in. So, Orange Cat has 42 nautical miles left to go. Maverick, Overload Dog, and AGRS are beginning to join form. Interestingly enough, didn't get a chance to shoot off any of the R-27s. Looking forward to the next nuclear option section. Nuclear option session? Yeah, me too. We'll have to have one soon. Disney's going to come knocking. Nah, this audio isn't saved to the VOD, but we can mix it up. 2 flankers and a 16, you know it, Hex. Orange Cat, not descending just yet. Looks like Name It and Overload Dog might be going for the pattern first. This Orange Cat makes a quick dive. Got an interesting silhouette, hasn't it? I personally think the flanker's much prettier. But who's going to go down first? Looks like it might be Maverick. Flankers are some of the prettiest planes. I agree with you completely. Though I can understand the affection that people have for the F-16. The F-16 has some very clean lines. Cute couple. It's like that, this rabbit is obsessed with his girlfriend, who's 4 times his size. The F-16 flying in formation with the J-11. Okay, runway in sight. Maverick's coming in. Everything looks by the book. The weather is a bit challenging, but not too bad. And touchdown. A little bit of aero braking. And that secures round 1 for 76th. Looks like Jam in the F-15E is going to be next. Not great visibility today. The weather has only gotten worse on the lead up to the runway. Looks like EW is getting ready to head the other... getting ready to head the other way. Are we there yet? Yeah. It's been interesting since coming back that I feel my vocal muscles have been atrophying a little bit. My capacity to yap has been diminished. I need to spend some time just sitting in the dark, yapping to myself so I can warm up my yap muscles. This is a hard landing, actually. Visibility is not good. There's the airfield. Just barely visible at the right-hand side. Damn, lagging all over the place. Let's hope we can get these landings over and done with pretty soon. I know the weather's bad, but there's a game to do. Let's switch up the music while we're here. Let's try... See, this is a proper landing. EW makes it down. As you hear the engines whirring and purring. I'm on the verge of telling them to hurry up here, but I know the weather's bad. The weather may be bad, but mozzarella will always be cheese. Did you come up with that? Is that a saying somewhere? Hello, Nairos. Welcome in. Lined up on the taxiway here, as Overload Dog flies in at the same time. We have a landing of all time happening here, and they have taken my words to heart and both performed very good landings here. Perfect, perfect. Orange Cat, the next one in. There's going to be ads in 3 minutes, guys. Nothing I can do about it. Touchdown, throw out the air brake. There we go. Brakes should make handy work of that. And here comes the F-16. What's worse, two Adam Sandlers or Tim Allen in a Speedo? I want to see Tim Allen in a Speedo. That man's a hunk. Okie dokie. I'll wait for Name It to slow down. Alright. Everyone is landed and controlled. So, let's restart everything. Oh, I'm little. I gotta get big. There we go. Alright. Let's restart the server. Alright, guys. There'll be ads in 30 seconds, and then we'll hear a word from our friends over at Master Arm. Alright, we'll be back soon. All right, let's hear from Master Arm as we get ready for the next... Oh, just give me a second. Got to turn off my flares. There we go. Let's hear from Master Arm.
Running a dedicated DCS server can be complex, time-consuming, and expensive. And after all that effort, you still might not get the smooth, seamless experience you're looking for. That's why virtual pilots and virtual squadrons choose Master Arm as a ready for immediate use solution and for peak efficiency. With low latency, high stability, and uncompromising performance, Master Arm ensures that every maneuver, every decision, and every shot counts. Stay mission ready. Fly with confidence. Master Arm has your six. Get your server at www.masterarm.de.
All right, we're just dealing with some connection issues from the members of Storks. We want to make every accommodation that we can for people to be able to connect. Unfortunately, it would be too prohibitive to have servers all over the world. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying your time here, don't forget that you can interact with my Discord. You can also follow me on Twitter if you want to catch up with my content, or SATAC itself. Don't forget to interact with their socials as well. But of course, a big thank you to everyone who has followed and subscribed today and all of the days previous. The talking plane disappeared. I don't want to distract from the content. Okay. So for the 76th, we have Orange Cat, Jam, Maverick, Overload Dog, Name It, and EW. For the Storks at the moment, we have Sith, Stonts, SFSR, Crim, and ESOL at the moment. Looks like we're waiting on a sixth. You want the talking plane? You want small talking plane? I'll go up in the corner this time. Or I could go over in this corner. Whoops. Hope someone uses a 747 this round. I hope so too. Let's see. What options have they got? Well, they've got the KC-10s and 15s if they want them, but... Or the 135s. Correction. But I'm not sure if they'll be bringing them. Okay, looks like everyone for the 76th is getting in position. Tactical mistake, not using the 747. No, it's true. And we have 5 Storks waiting on a 6th. Let's hope we get someone soon. Okay. Let's put up a poll so that people can put their vote in for round number 2. Get that up on screen now. Welcome in, Cookie Giranzabi. Welcome in, how are you going? How is the GVAW been going while I've been away? Did you have any matches? And what did you get up to? You're doing scrims today? Ooh. Who are you going to be scrimming against? I must admit, guys, I've got a little bit of a stomachache, so pardon me for being just a little bit quiet. But I'm a very brave boy, and I will survive tummy hurt disease. '69th only flies tomorrow night. Ooh, I see. Ah, that will be an exciting match. Oh, don't worry. I'm not badly sick or anything like that. I'm just a little bit slow. So don't worry. I will be fine. Looks like the votes are even Stevens for the teams at the moment. My back. So we have Sonts, Isol, Tia, and Krim. Okay. Okay, looks like Storks are trying to get another player as quickly as they can. Touch wood, we'll be taking off shortly. I was told that it has something to do with the Cloudflare, but I don't know what it is, though. Okay, 5 minutes tops. I'm going to run some more ads, guys, just so we don't have ads playing during the match. Apologies for ads, but this is just wait time. You will not miss anything, but it looks like the teams are even Stevens for the match. Okay. Looks like the 76th are getting a Wizzo for one of their F-15s. So, looks like Cert might be stepping in for the members of Storks. A great catch. Okay, Psycho is heading off, and Cert is coming in a J11 from 9G. An excellent addition of all the mercenaries you could get. This one is a good one. Cert, an experienced pilot. just check the rolls, because it looks like Bunny Cat is coming in as an F-15E Wizzo. Thank you for your patience, everyone. It looks like we're just about ready for takeoff of round 2. Okay. So it's in position. Let's check the rolls. Okay. Change coalition. Cool. Just confirming that they are in the back seats. Okay, Bunny Cat and Nisan are the backseaters for the Reds. Listening to him gives you acute indigestion. Well, I've never heard digestion being called cute before. Okay, both teams ready. Both teams ready. Get set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. And there they go. Finally, we get off to the start of round number 2 as the Storks take off down the runway with Krim and Esol leading the way. Gentle takeoffs for the 2 Hornets leading the way. The teams have switched sides, of course. Jam and Orange Cat start taking off in the F-15s, now equipped with Wizzos. Weapon system officers in the back seats. Of course, in the F-15E, the usefulness of a Wizzo is very highly dependent on the people that are Wizzoing for you, because the back seat is essentially just a clone of the front seat with some more MFDs. And with the absence of some features such as the data link, there is a limit how much can be done by the backseater specifically. Though in this particular instance, if they had the time to bring them, I'm sure it might be worth having someone in the backseat just to have an extra set of eyes looking outside of the cockpit. And keeping an eye on the radar warning receiver. Cert takes off the new addition in the J11. Cert's a great pilot, and I think will do very well here. Bringing 2 R-27 ETs, long-range infrared homing missiles. As Psycho and SFSR in the F-16s take off. Over on the red team, Overload Dog takes off, with AGRS not long behind. And up goes EW, meaning that Name It is the last one left. ESOL and Crim in the F-18s, leveling out at 30,000 feet. As the F-15 screams through the middle. In fact, not the F-15, the other F-18 zooms up to 32,000. It'll be interesting to see how tactics change between rounds. Of course, it will be a big benefit for the members of Storks to have all 6 members present for the fight this time. Orange Cat is heading up into the north. 37,000 feet with the afterburners all the way open. With the Wizzo in the back seat. No one's entering the circle just yet, but it looks like Ursol and Crim are going to be the first ones to make entry. See if we can see the other one. There he is. If you were participating in a SATAC match, what would you fly? What's your best airframe, chat? I want to hear what you've got. In full afterburner, the 2 jets are approaching the threshold. Jam at 40,000 feet, all the way in the south, full afterburner. MiG-21, nice. And blue has successfully entered, meaning that ESOL and Crim have entered the zone here. 27 and 29,000 feet, with Cert behind them. Maverick in the F-16 is going to have to head in and contest the circle shortly here. Okay, Maverick is about to enter the circle and contest it. Separation between the teams is now 95 nautical miles, so not quite close enough for a lock just yet. You can hear that airshow is super wet right now. It's true. Jam, AGS, Orange Cat, and name it. Still outside of the circle. Psycho is going to be in the north to intercept Orange Cat at about 100 nautical miles now, 80 nautical miles between the F-18s and the F-16s. Hello, Deathheart. Welcome in. ESOL is actually dropping down to quite low altitude now. 15,000 feet, that is dead low. As Orange Cat and Jam start pincering in into the circle. With plenty of altitude to work with. And they haven't... Ooh, Orange Cat hasn't even brought AIM-9Ms, relying entirely on 4 AIM-120s. Every single one of these is going to have to count because there is nothing left for the F-15. Of course, Storks won't know that, but it'll be interesting to see. Maverick starts turning over, but not to fire a missile just yet. Overload Dog in the J-11, going to have to face off against Cert, who's brought one now. Sonts and Orange Cat have fired at each other. Sonts was at lower altitude. Orange Cat was at about 50,000 feet. The missile towards Orange Cat makes it up to 50,000. The missile heading back has gone all the way up to 62,000 feet in a heavy loft. Missiles crisscrossing in the air. The missile heading up towards Orange Cat, who's traveling at 978 knots. He's slowing down to 14,000 knots. So still with pace, but not a lot. Sont's going to have to contend with this one that's coming down towards them now. Going to go active any second now. Sonts is defending. Missiles going up 1,100 knots. Dropping below 1,000. 900 knots. It's now going too slow to catch up. The one heading towards Orange Cat lost track completely and then unbelievably didn't fire. Jam is having to defend against a 120 of their own, which is at co-altitude with them and has slowed down to 900 knots. Hey Faisal, welcome in. 4v6? No, this is a 6v6. ESOL, 26 nautical miles away from Maverick, who's at 30,000 feet. Nothing fired just yet, but ESOL is committing in. Climbing up to go for a shot here. Fires off a 120. And then starts dipping down. Maverick fires one right back at the same time. Distance for those shots, 16 nautical miles. ESOL fired earlier. Their missile curving back down. Dropping 30,000 feet. Thank you for the follow, Shush Panzerwehr. Pangerwehr, rather. Not Panzerwehr. Is ESOL in trouble here? Looks like this one's been notched quite comfortably, goes straight past him. And Maverick now has to go fully defensive. Jam fires another high-speed, high-altitude shot. And jettisons all of his wing pylons, including his short-range air-to-air missiles. Don't know if that was a mistake. Cert has a 120 coming in towards him. The missile has head up to high altitude and is now chasing Jam. Traveling at 1,300 knots. Looks like the missile is defeated. ESOL and Name It, only 8 nautical miles away from each other, but this weather's going to make it hard to do anything. And indeed, the two of them appear to be turning cold. The missile chasing down Cert, no factor. But this missile is heading down towards an F-16 at 20,000 feet. Not sure who it's tracking, but it's struggling. Looks like this one's for the trees. No dice. Orange Cat fires another AIM-120 towards that southern group. Maverick and Krim trade missiles at 12 nautical miles. Maverick at much higher altitude than Krim. But that means this missile has thin air to work with. Still, Maverick has turned cold against it. With the 120 heading towards Sons in the southern group. Not going to catch up with Sons, though, who has fully turned away from it now. SFSR fires up towards Jam, 15,000 feet to 45,000 feet. That's a lot of altitude to cover. Cert having to defend against this missile here. Manages to evade it and notch it into the ground, though. This 120 heading up towards Jam. He's going pretty quick. Jam is too, though. The missile loses track. A short-range shot, 6 nautical miles. ESOL fires at Overload Dog, who's quite low here. Overload Dog may be getting caught out here. Does not have much time to ditch altitude. And Overload Dog actually manages to get Psycho with the SD-10 fired in response, as the 120 has no effect. Sons fires up at 10 nautical miles towards Orange Cat, who fires back. Orange Cat turns very cold. Looks like that is another 120 going towards Overload Dog. The missile heading up to Orange Cat is quickly slowing down and loses track. Two 120s heading towards Overload Dog now, who manages to dodge one as it claps over their shoulder. Short-range shots between EW and Sons at 7 nautical miles. Maverick is chasing ESOL, who's very close to some bandits here. Sos has got this one coming in. Doesn't impact. What about the ones fired in return? Looks like Sos has been splashed here, but there's an AIM-9 going out. That hits Sos's wreckage. Krim now about to merge with someone dead ahead. Fires off a missile. Short range. But Jam is miles and miles above him. Stork could probably see him if he looked straight up. There's clouds in the way, though. Jam fires a 120 that's going to go straight down. Missile goes ballistic. Down towards Cert. Maverick's got this one to contend with, though, at 18,000 feet, but it's very slow. Sonts and EW break off engagement with each other. SFSR is chasing down the high-altitude Jam. Only 3 nautical miles away, but with 12,000 feet difference in altitude. Looks like Cert has been splashed by the high-altitude shot from Jam. So it's a 3v6. Overload Dog is chasing. SFSR trying desperately to catch up with Jam, who still has missiles left. Stonts and Maverick, 7 nautical miles away from each other. Who's going to get the first look? Stonts is down to AIM-9Ms, though. SFSR breaks off the chase against Jam, realizing that Overload Dog is coming behind, but also down to AIM-9Ms. Psycho disconnects. Maverick and Sonts right next to each other. Maverick fires at close range at Sonts. Sonts fires in back. Both missiles get spoofed into the terrain. Sonts has more missiles coming in, though, and an AIM-9 goes out towards Overload Dog. AIM-9s slow down very quickly, and I don't think that one will have the energy to cross the distance, as Sonts gets splashed in the southern group. SFSR is now chasing down the J-11, with 1 AIM-9M left to do any damage with. SFSR overtakes their own AIM-9 and fires another. Doesn't look like the 9M has the legs, as SFSR, down to guns now, has missiles closing in on all sides. SFSR impacts the terrain. Krim, the last one left, with 1 120, 1 Sparrow, and 2 9Ms. The last 120 for the Storks comes off the rails. Might be towards Overload Dog, who fires a J-11 in response. Fires an SD-10 in response. Both of them impact the terrain. An AIM-7 is fired. Has no effect. AIM-120 is coming from all directions now as Jam fires straight down. No luck chasing down that last member of the Storks, though, who is now deep in the thick of things with no AIM-7s or missiles to speak of. An AIM-9 comes off the rails, goes for the countermeasures. No luck. Maverick and Krim cross each other at near knife fight ranges, but without the visibility, cannot positively ID. Friendly fire, a real risk here now, as Krim gets stuck into the close range fight. Maverick is turning in close by. Maverick just ahead of and above him. The R-27 comes in. And everyone manages to converge on Krim at the same time. Let's check the airframes. Krim heading down to the deck. That's all she wrote. Now it's time for the 76th to return to base, as AGRSEW is already halfway there. So let's have a look at what happened. We'll go player by player and see what happened to them. From here, managing to do excellent work. Attempts to chase down Jam at high altitude, does not have any luck. Gets caught in a close range fight. Looks like he gets caught out by an R-27ET of all things. Dipping up to high altitude, but look at this. The R-27ET detonating so close that even the AIM-9 explodes with Crimson's corpse. So Crim managing to dodge a lot at low altitude. Let's have a look at Cert. Cert eventually getting caught out by Jam at high altitude. Managing to launch a 120 on a ballistic trajectory. Comes down to the ground and impacts Cert at Mark 2.4, which is very fast. Looks like Jam managed to keep that lock going for ages as well. Esol, getting stuck into the close range fight, eventually gets caught from behind by Maverick, who manages to get AIM-9s off at close range. Very good missile dodges by all the players here. It was a great match. And Psycho gets caught out by an SD-10 from Overload Dog at about 8 nautical miles. But in the process of evading it, gets caught in the weather and impacts the terrain. The tree monster manages to claim another victim. And SFSR getting frustrated trying to chase Jam, managing to get within 5 nautical miles of him, or at least 5.55, and eventually experiencing a C-fit while defending very hard, but straight into the ground. Okay, Orange Cat, the first one back home at 46,000 feet, 28 nautical miles till home. And Orange Cat begins a quick descent. EW's following not far behind. And we see Maverick and Jam in formation. Yeah, but Airshow will survive his tummy ache. Oh, I can guarantee it. I'm a veteran of many tummy aches. Don't you stress. This, too, I will survive. They say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm about to get real strong. Looks like EW is nearly on the landing run, and Orange Cat is coming in as well. Looks like we have some AIM-9s that have been fired as well. So, explosive ordnance just being launched into space for the fun of it. As AGRS, who flew straight up, is now flying straight down. Good rejoin. Now, who's going to make the first landing attempt? Looks like it's EW. A clean landing for EW as the other F-15 is heading down in the opposite direction. That secures round 2 for 76th. The reigning members now coming down. Jam, Maverick, name it, and overload dog. You hear the engine whine as everyone's starting to make their way back to the field. Is it jam on the landing run now? It looks like it. Looks like it's a good lineup. You can always hear the F-15E's engines making that noise. Weet, 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 weet.
Hello?
Hello, who have we got here? Could you guys please introduce yourselves?
No problem. Here's Steve, our commander, and my nick is Sonsa.
Alright, since which I think is Psycho in English, and
Yeah, it's Psycho.
and-
Psycho, sorry.
and we have
Esol,
Sons, and we
really.
have Esol as well. Welcome in, guys. How are you feeling after that one? I'm very sorry about the connection difficulties. It's sadly something we can't often do that much about, but other than that, you still managed to put up a very good fight. How are you feeling after that? It must have been difficult coming up against the 76, given their track record so far.
One moment, I have to translate. Илья, у нас спрашивают, как мы себя чувствуем после этого боя, всякие проблемы с коннектом, тому подобное.
Коротко скажи, максимально отрицательный бой из-за технических проблем и считай просто техническое поражение. Вот и все.
Скажи и подращу команду.
Поздравляю команду с техническим поражением, с победой.
Okay. We've had a lot of difficulties with connection, with taking off apparently, and first of all, we want to congratulate our opponents on their victory. They put up a great fight, and on our end, we've played very, maybe not very, but kinda badly, and some of us think that it was a sort of technical lose because we had a lot of connection issues. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and sometimes it's just a tough day. With the things that are in your control, so not connection issues or anything like that, would you still consider it a bit of a rough day? And if so, what might you have wanted to happen differently?
Смотри, Илья, он говорит, вот кроме проблем с коннекшеном, какие у нас были проблемы, и что бы мы хотели бы, чтобы было по-другому в плане боя, как все прошло. Я думаю, про погоду надо сказать.
максимально плохая погода в данном типе местоположения, а также сервера пусть починят.
Ну, это не их проблема с серверами, понимаешь? А насчет нашей игры на геймплее, вот какие у нас проблемы были, он хочет выделить?
Проблем особо не было, просто технические неполадки и все на этом в основном связано.
Бля, Илья. Ну ладно.
Но я сказал, так и говорю.
So, we believe that the main problem was definitely the weather. The weather was quite rough, and some of us have hit the ground and failed to notch because of the ground. And also for me, I cannot that another difficult thing was that our opponents were very, how do I say it, greatly using their altitude advantage. And
Yes, no, definitely.
and sometimes we just couldn't do anything. I was told on our pre-briefing that my mission was going to be to fly in a sort of a second line, not on the front line, but on a second line, and fly on a mid-altitude and try to get high altitude jets to the ground. So my mission was to pop up, attack them, and get back. But as you've seen, I couldn't do it just right, and they were just turning back, and missiles wouldn't reach them. Yeah.
And it can be very difficult as well to force down aircraft that are at higher altitude. It would have been nice if the weather was better to be able to hide in amongst all of the bits of the mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can understand completely. Well, I'm not sure if anyone from the 76th is going to be joining us, and it looks like everyone's landed. So, if you and the members of the Storks have any shout-outs you'd like to make or anything you'd like to say, please go ahead. Thank you very much for flying with us today and providing us with such an entertaining match. It was wonderful to have you guys with us. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you too. Илья, он хочет спросить вот заключительное слово, типа, может быть, мы хотим кому-то сказать, типа, привет, спасибо, допустим, Сурту. Да, Сурт, спасибо. Помог. Так вот, Илья, ну что?
Скажи то, что мы благодарны всем, кто с нами участвовал в тренировках, а также второй команде 76-й ХДА.
Не, ты загибаешь.
Да. И также благодарны Сурту за то, что он пришел на помощь. Вот. И всем, с кем мы проводили скримы. За этот период мы обрели друзей и врагов, ненависть и славу от некоторых команд. Вот. Благодарны им за все. Комментировать особо не желаю.
So, we are very thankful to everyone with whom we were training. Thankful to everyone with whom we had scrims. And Surt from 9G helped us a lot at this fight. It wouldn't have been a fair fight without him. So thanks to him. And it was a long journey. Yeah, it's our last match in this SATAC. And we've gained a lot of experience. It was a tough and not particularly rewarding journey, but it's not the end, and we will continue training, and I hope I hope that we will continue to participate in competitive tournaments in DCS.
I hope so
Thank you
too.
to everyone.
It's always wonderful seeing you guys fly, and you've put on some absolutely excellent performances. So I would love to see you in more competitions to come, and I wish you all the best with them, and hopefully I get to cast them too. But it is always a pleasure to see you guys fly. Thank you very much for flying for us today. Bad luck on not gaining victory this time, though I'm sure in the future there'll be plenty of Storks still to fly. Thank you very much, and I hope the rest of your weekend goes well.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you too, and another time, thanks to our opponents for having a great fight.
Yes, thank you
Goodbye.
very much. Goodbye. All right, well, that's as far as we go today, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you had lots of good fun. I know that I did. I hope you all take good care of yourselves, have a good rest of your weekend, and all of your endeavors turn out successfully. I'll leave you now and let you enjoy all of the things that this wonderful life has to offer. I'll see you later. Bye-bye, guys. Forgot to set it to round 2.